Welcome again, friends, and we will start here with services, and welcome again to the hands-on on Android fundamentals. So here you will have an overview of services. Later on in advanced courses, you will have a complete understanding on services, means what are the different types of services are available, and with the practicals. But here we will talk about a simple service. And what is a service actually? It is one of the main component, the first thing, and it's like an activity but without a UI, and it work in a background. So if you want to perform a long running task that can run in a background without freezing your UI, you can invoke that kind of task, that kind of process, that kind of logic by using services. So a service is an application component that can perform a long running operation in background, and it does not provide a user interface. Another application component can start the service and it continue to run in the background even if the user switches to another application. So once the service is started, it will run in the background even though if you shut down, or if you, it's not a shutdown, if you close your application. So basically there are three types of services available: foreground that can run in a foreground, background that can run in the background, and a bound service that perform the client service architecture, means that can bind a client and server interface. So here we will talk about a simple service, and then later on in the advanced courses you will have a detailed complete details on the services. Let me open a service diagram, Android. So whenever we work with service, my friend, let me pick a random image of service. So here you can see, okay, so this is a basically, let me open it first. Okay, so basically these are the two services available, two different types of service available. The first one is the started service that is widely used, and second one is the bind service that offer the client server interfaces. So we will talk about the second one in the advanced course, but here we will deal with the first service, so to run any kind of operation in the background. Very simple, like an activity, service comes with a life cycle. Activity is invoked whenever you open an application or whenever you move from one activity to another activity. On create, on start, on resume, on pause, on stop, on destroy, and on restart method, lifecycle methods call in a particular sequence. Same thing has happened here, my friend, whenever you invoke a service first time. Point to be remember here, whenever you invoke a service first time, it will call on create method. And when you invoke it again and again and again, it won't call on create method, because on create method is like an initialization. So this is going to be invoked once the first time when you click on, means when you try to open it by calling a start service. And then it will follow the start service, means on start method. And here in the on start method, we put a logic. We put the operation that we want to perform. So here in on start method, the service is running, and you can stop a service by calling the stop service method from an activity, and it will call on destroy. So it's so simple, and this is done basically by using intent, because intent is a component that can use to invoke activity, that can use to invoke content, no, not a content provider. It is used to invoke broadcast receiver, and it is used to invoke service. So this is a simple service, my friend, and let me create a very simple application to demonstrate this. In the next lesson, we will go through a practical example. Thanks for watching this tutorial.